Please start. There is no problem. It's already there. Then go ahead. Or else do one thing. Make a quick setup. Can I show you setup, or do you want to set up your own machine now? I'll
Like
say.
my yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll say that you just launch two instances, right? Quickly, so I can guide you right now. Don't go for Ubuntu right now. Let's go for AWS Linux, right?
Yeah, but I have launched two instances over there, the AWS and also the Ubuntu, right? But it is working on the AWS side. It is only giving me the trouble with the Ubuntu one.
Okay, that
Do I
means
have
you're
passed the?
you're, you're doing well with AWS Linux, and you're able to connect to that passwordless configuration. Everything done. Only
Yeah,
for
of course.
Ubuntu machine, you're getting some problem, right?
Yeah, it was giving me the trouble. That's why I have manually placed the public key into the Ubuntu. It was fine, but whenever I'm just running the command, like it is giving me the trouble. Like it is saying that it is giving me an error that the sudo password is missing. Sudo password is missing. It is giving me the error.
Okay, that means which command you're running. That means Ansible.
Like
Uh,
first I am just trying with the doc like ad hoc command to reboot it in order to see that whether it is working or not, but it is giving me the same issue, right?
yeah,
like i,
understand.
I thought I thought that it is with the inventory file, then I have just specified that this is the AWS host and this is the Ubuntu host, even though it is giving me the same error.
Okay, so are you able to ping? Ping is okay.
Yeah, it is giving me ping pong.
Ping pong with the Ubuntu machine and AWS Linux machines working.
Yes, it is working.
Okay, now when you want to execute ad hoc command or module command, and when you execute, is asking a kind of like pseudo password, right? Are you using
Yes.
minus B or A switch?
Yeah, I am using both, like minus ba.
First B, then A,
Yes.
right? The
Yes.
sequence should be there. B is
Yes.
become as whenever you execute any command of a kind of like here about this pseudo, then it's going to be use going to word B and A. Then it's going to be fine. But if you are having some problem with the passwordless, that means if you do not set up the passwordless communication, then it will give this problem to you because it will ask the password regularly, right? You have other
Yes, sir.
switches also. You can define the switch of password. It will ask password and you have to give password manually every time, but it's good
Yes,
to
sir.
go for passwordless. So what you have to do is in AWS Linux, you're able to install or execute ad hoc command. Is it? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
But when you want to target to the Ubuntu,
Hmm.
the machines, right, from your Ansible, so it's saying that password or sudo password error missing, right?
Yes.
That means it's part of what you said while configuring, while sending the key, public key, right? When you
Hmm.
generate a public key, and when you want to send the public key to your SSH key.
Yeah, like it was giving me it was giving an error, like Shravani has also pushed the error into the group that she was facing that, but after a while I got to know that there was not a specified path, so I have created the file for that, then I have just copied it to the what we call it as to the Ubuntu. Like I have copied the public key
Okay.
uh, uh, to the Ubuntu, not with the commands that you have shown me, but with the
Okay.
other thing
Okay.
manually. I'm saying.
Okay.
Then after that, it was okay that it was giving me ping pong and stuff. After I ping it, but even though it is giving me an error with the Ubuntu machine, it is working fine with the AWS Linux.
Okay. Only the OS level kind of error, right?
Yes, yes,
So no
yes.
problem. We'll keep aside. But you have
Mhm.
done Ansible and you have done your playbook and everything, because
Uh,
you're talking about
yes,
what a kind of problem with Ubuntu, right? And you're working with
yes.
AWS Linux well.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now keep it separate Ubuntu and make a like screenshot of that what error you're getting. And
Okay.
second one is what you work like continue work with ad hoc commands, module command, or playbook. Have you done with all the playbooks and every commands into your on AWS Linux?
No, sir, I haven't tried those.
Yeah, that's
I
very
was just using
important
GitHub.
sequence when you're working. When you have a small problem, don't be involved into that problem, which is basically very important, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you have to separate it. You have to practice your all the skills of your playbook and everything on whatever you have the facility or provision. You have
Okay,
AWS Linux, go ahead. Don't waste the time. Then keep it aside of your problem, right? You have a problem like you want to go for a Windows machine also. You want to go for Ubuntu machine also. You can go with Ansible. Ansible can support Ubuntu and other operating system also. So keep it
okay, sir.
aside, but practice your complete your playbook because we have done already.
Yes, sir.
Please,
Okay,
huh?
sir, I will do. Okay,
Yeah,
sir. Thank you, sir.
fine. Now we have a kind of concern about what Jenkins. Have you done your Jenkins installation?
Done, sir.
Wonderful. So
Yes, sir, done.
Jenkins, and we got some kind of theoretical part of Jenkins, what exactly it is, and why people use this Jenkins. Jenkins is a kind of tool which makes you a DevOps engineer. If you know about Docker, if you know Terraform, you have Ansible, but you don't know about Jenkins, oh, you are not a DevOps engineer, right? So now, as I said already, CI/CD, pipeline, terminology, so all those things. But now we'll continue with what the second part after installation. You have to manage. So let's start about Jenkins here. It's very important to have idea about the terminology of Jenkins, right? And all the stages. Stages are very important. Which stage, which tool, which stage, which tool. It's very important. The sequence of the stages. Already have said this already. What exactly Jenkins is doing? Pull, push, execute, and notification is done by Jenkins itself. Jenkins is doing a work, pull and push and execute a notification from multiple tools. That means integrating multiple tools and doing that kind of job itself without any humans. That means we can automate all the tasks, pushing and pulling and executing a notification will be done by your Jenkins now. What is the port number of Jenkins? It works on which port number?
808.
880.
Okay, now if you want to do Jenkins, if you want to use automation of Jenkins, you want to do automation by using Jenkins. What are the two methods? One is plugin, freestyle method. That means suppose you want to do something here. I'll show you something. I want to make an automation of this process, CI process. What? I have a GitHub here. Are you connected? Or you have a GitHub, and what I want is I want whenever the source code is push, I want it should be integrated. It should be built by a build software. I want it should be built by Maven or and now, or you have a Microsoft build. What I want is I want to do first job to the Jenkins. I want to say to Jenkins as an automator, and I want to say to Jenkins, please do a job for me regularly. It's not one time, a continuous job. I want to say CI process. I want to do automation. What is that? Whenever a developer team push code, source code, then do what? Pull the code, bring to what? Build, server, and execute the Maven commands to build source code. These are tasks. Basically, we want to do this. It's not one time job. I want automated because developer is not doing only one time. Maybe per day they can push the code three times or four times or five times or one time, or it can be months or years. So I want this developer, whatever they push the code here, I want this repository to be integrated with what? Jenkins.
Okay.
This is my automation work. I want continuous work. Whenever developer push, the Jenkins should pull the code and forward to the Maven, and it should run some command. So who is doing this? Pulling job is done by Jenkins, pushing to the build server and running some command of like execution of the command of Maven or Ant or a Microsoft build to build the source code and convert it to package. So these things I want to say word converting to word a package here. So now the package is basically what the output is artifact jar or var, or it can be exe or something here, depend on your application. Your Java application will be this. So I want this kind of to be built. So now I want to do what automation. So I want that Jenkins should get notification, or some Jenkins should get intimation that, hey, please Jenkins, I have some new code for you. Pull it. So who is going to say that? I want GitHub. So I need to have what? I need to create a kind of GitHub action here, and whenever something push a new update or new code comes to this repository, this GitHub should notify to Jenkins, hey, you have something here, pull the code. Okay, Jenkins will get notification, and Jenkins go for what? Pull the code, and for Jenkins, I have to say that what to do after like if something is there. So I'll say Jenkins, go to that particular repository and pull it and execute some commands. So if I want to save this process, I have a two methods. I have a plugins method, or I have a completely pipeline, that is Groovy method. Groovy means a pipeline. That means you want to write a kind of script and you want to execute it. Plugins is not a scripting. Plugins is a manual job, manual process. So you can say your Jenkins in a two-way, whether you say in a plugins manner or a Groovy. When you have a complicated task, multiple tasks to be assigned to the Jenkins, and you're working with a multiple tasks, so it's not plugins. Plugins is going to be complicated for you. But easy to is go forward a Groovy pipeline, which makes an easy configuration, easy modification. But for small jobs, you go for what? Plugins. So let's start what exactly the plugins. Now, what we have to do is, I said the method of making a continuous integration or continuous deployment you can do with the plugins or Groovy. So for small project, we'll go for this, and Groovy will go for what? Automated, most preferable. For a complicated task, if you have multiple jobs, it's not one or two jobs. You may be having 10 to 20 jobs. So it's good to go for what? Groovy. So now, how to set up Jenkins on AWS Linux? Already we did. Up to here, we did it something here. No. After installation, you'll see a first dashboard of what Jenkins. So every application will have their own dashboard or kind of like main page. In that, you'll find new items, people, build history. Let's see here. I have a machine already. So I log in with here. I'm checking machine. Oh, my machine is not there. Maybe in Ohio. I think earlier we have done Jenkins here. It's running. Alternative device. I want to check another region. Yeah, but here again we have other things here. There's no Jenkins up to here. I don't have here. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly go for my Jenkins here, Mumbai master. Later we'll do that port ID. So you have official website and you want to store it in Linux and it's going to be a Red Hat. I'll connect to this machine. I'll get the repository of Jenkins from the official website by using wget command. And I want to keep on this location. That's why I'm using switch all. And downloading location is this HTTPS. Done. Then I'll import this kind of repository so I can execute my command of Linux, Jenkins, right? So I'll do what? Upgrade or update here because just now I did some changes on the repository level. That's why it's good to go with this. Once you have done, you can go forward. You open JDK, sudo yum install font config. So what I'll do is I don't want this. I want to install it. Okay, now we need to check out this particular version which is available, which is not available here. It's saying it's not available here. Open JDK. So what I'll do is I will go for what? 17, right? Is there. So what I'll do is check the Java version is not there. So sudo yum install. I'll copy from here. So the version is not getting here. Before I go for this Java, like Jenkins, I have to go for what? Java install. So I need to find out that new version like AWS EC2 2023 Linux, right? AWS Linux 23 JDK 11 installation here. I want to perform the installation here. So I'll go with this. It's good to go here. Fine. Updating and upgrading here. So I'll go for this Amazon Linux. I think the package is not installed here. You have 11 version, and you can check the version. You can switch between the versions here. So I'll go for what? Installing directly because already is there. So I'll do what? Java version here. So it's gonna be a kind of this. No. What I'll do is sudo yum install, and then I'll say what? Jenkins minus y. Our Java is ready, then you can go for what? Jenkins directly. And then you have to reload it. You have to restart the service. That's it. So the systemctl, and then you have to start. Jenkins is good to go. You have what? Jenkins service failed because the central process extended error code. So always whenever you have a start problem, so it's basically because of what? Okay. So how do you go with this changing? What command you have to say? Alternatives hyphen config Java. So what you do is sudo alternatives, and you have to say config Java, right? This is going to be on same version because I'm using AWS 2023. So it's saying that only kind of one eight version is there, right? There's going to be selection. There is one program that provides Java here, so that's fine because we don't have any multiple choice here. So then fine. So now what I want to do is I want to set up this. The column is what? Starting. I'll go for what? Another installation here.
मतलब तो मुझे अच्छा लगा।
Mm, 11 version.
Open, open first.
So I'm restarting this, trying to restart my Jenkins here. So fine. Then I'll say again start here. Start Jenkins. Always you find any problem while starting Jenkins something because of dependencies. So you have to check out with your which version you're using, whether which operating system. It's very important. Ubuntu or AWS Linux or Red Hat Linux, you have to check out the manual, what it's supporting compatibility. Now it started, right? So what I have to do, I have to copy this and I have to go forward 8080. So it's going to work or not? Anyone can
No,
get me? No. Why?
no, we have not allowed 808 security group.
Because we have my security group will stop. Hey, you don't have a permission. You don't have any kind of what? A kind of rules allowed here. Inbound rules. So what I have to do here, add rules, and I have to say what? 8080 custom. Okay, then I have to say this. Let's see here. It's going to work or not. Oh, so then I have to go for what? I have to read this file, right? So I'll say sudo cat. The location is default is what? Warlib Jenkins secret, right? So you copy it. We go with this. I don't want to start. I don't know about plugins. What plugin I have to choose? So I'll say what? The first time I'm installing, so I'll go for suggested plugins. A pipeline plugin, Git plugins. You can see the default plugins they are installing. A folder plugins, and you have a workspace, GitHub, SSH build, email extensions, mailer, matrix. These all are plugin Gradles and dark themes, spam authentications, credential bindings. These all the plugins by default. The common plugins are installed, basically installing by the Jenkins. Just wait a while. You have done all the things here. This configuration is basically what? When you have a firewall installed on your Linux machine, so you have to allow that particular firewall to be added. That means your Linux firewall or your OS level firewall should have this. Your security group is an instance level firewall is different, but here is a kind of what? A OS level firewall. Then you have to add that particular and bond to that particular security of that firewall here with this command, and you can go with that. We are the force installation, unlock, and we are going with the Jenkins, done, admin user. Now, you have set the password, right? So now you are about to go with that. Done. Welcome. So I want to keep admin. I want to say 1 2 3 4 5. Simple password I'm going to keep. It's not recommended. Cloud Infotech. I want to give a Cloud Infotech email address. Done. So you're most welcome here. Save and finish. So you should know what username password you have kept. So when you are logging to the Jenkins, you find logout on the right side, and the left side you'll find dashboard, new items, build history, manage Jenkins, my views, build queues. build executors, you have this, right? And on the center, it's asking about what? Welcome to Jenkins, create a job, set up agent, configure a cloud, learn more. So now, right now, I want to explain you something, new items and build history and manage Jenkins and my views. So let's here understand this point. New item. If you want to create a job, like if you want to go for a plugin job or you can go for a freestyle job, if you want to create any job, if you want to have a task, you have a task of what? Doing an CI integration continuously. So you can go for new items. A job or a project for Jenkins, pipeline job or a freestyle job. If you want to go for Groovy or a freestyle job, you have to click on item. Note, install the plugin before you go for job. That means it's not recommended to go for what? Directly job. Because your job, if you are going for a plugin, then you have to go for this. If you are going with what? Freestyle job or freestyle project, then you have to install the plugin. Then you have to go for this. If you are working with a like pipeline job, that means Groovy scripting. So plugins are not required. Plugin is a small program which allow you integration or which allow you to talk Jenkins to your what? Other application where you want to integrate it. People is what? Current user. You want to see that how many users are available in my Jenkins. When I go for people here, so fine. There's no people here. I'm going to go forward, build more. So now we have a people here basically to understand the current user. Right now this version is not it's not showing the people, right? Earlier version it was basically in a people where it shows your current username, admin and 1 2 3 4 5. Build history, whatever the job you have built, whatever you have job, so it will show that so and so date and time it is failed, it was failed and it is started, it's running successfully, success or failed, everything you can see. Manage Jenkins, what is manage Jenkins? If you want to install plugins, if you want to add the passwords of all these kind of credentials to your what? Jenkins. That means you want Jenkins should talk to Maven. You want that Jenkins should talk to GitHub. You want Jenkins should talk to Ansible. You want Jenkins should talk to Docker. You want Jenkins should communicate to Kubernetes. You want Jenkins should talk to SonarQube. You want that Jenkins should talk to JFrog, Selenium. So every application have their own authenticity. That means they have their own kind of credentials. So Jenkins should. That means all the credential I need to keep into where? Jenkins. Then Jenkins can communicate without any human interference. Install tools. If you want to have Java or other tools, Git tools, so you do everything from a managed Jenkins. Installing tools, authentication authorizations, plugins, and if you want to check logs, if you want to check the logs of the Jenkins, you want to troubleshoot it, you can have this. Or if you had a master and slave nodes, Jenkins is a kind of like here you can say distributed system or distributed architecture where you have a master slave architecture of Jenkins. So if you want to add it, you can go for nodes, slave and agents. So these all things can be done into Jenkins. If you want to make authentication authorization, or if you want to set up policies, like you want to create user and you want to give authentication that a Jenkins user, you want to appoint a junior Jenkins and you want to give that, please manage the job, not other things. So I can define security all authorization from manage Jenkins itself. You have my views. Whatever the jobs you have created, the job created date, last status, I want to see that all jobs. So you can have my views, build history, manage Jenkins, views. Five options are there. So now it's good to go for what? First of all, the task and the project is what? My project and my job is basically I want to assign to the Jenkins that Jenkins should pull the data from a GitHub and run some commands of Maven, right? So what I'm going to do is, I want to install the Maven into my machine. I don't want to take separate machine for the Maven. I want to install Maven here. I need to have a Git. Remember this point. To do this job, Jenkins is executing the Git commands. So Git should be available on Jenkins machine. If you have the Git installed, then Git pull command can be used to pull the data from the Git. And Maven command, whenever you want to execute Maven command, Maven to be installed in the Jenkins. I want to build a kind of this source code. So I need this Maven and Git tool to be installed on Jenkins. So these are prerequisites. Then these are the tools, right? Then what do you need? A plugins. A plugin is what? You can have a GitHub plugins, integration plugins, or you can have a Maven integration plugins. So that means you should know the plugin name of that particular job. What do you want to do? Because you want that the Jenkins should communicate to GitHub, the Jenkins should communicate to Maven. So if you want tight integration with GitHub or Maven, you should or you must have a plugins in your Jenkins. So if you install the plugins of Maven and GitHub, then Jenkins can do the job. And Git and Maven is basically to run the commands, but to integrate and to talk to that particular tight integration with the GitHub and Maven plugin will help. Establishing communication between your Jenkins to other services. So you need plugins. So let's start first going with this Maven and Git installation here. If I want to install any tool, I can go for Manage Jenkins or I can go for Linux, a backend machine. I can say what sudo yum install Git. If you install the Git software here, done. And I'll go for Manage Jenkins. In that we have a tools, we have a plugins, nodes, cloud, system, appearance. I want to go for tools. I want Maven to be installed from here in my Jenkins. So it's saying a JDK installation, Git installation we have done, and Gradle installation and Maven. Oh, I want to go for Maven. So at the Maven, it says that which version you want to go and what is the name you want to give. I want to go for Maven 11. Let's see what the version 3.998. So I'll say 398. I'll give a name M39. And here I say install automatically. Which version? I want to go for latest version. I'll say apply. I'll say save. That means by using Manage Jenkins, I'm able to install my this. Now what do you require? What do you require now? Plugins. Because the tools are ready now. Now I want this. Why I have installed this Git? I said Jenkins will execute the Git command to pull the data from the GitHub. So it need Git software to be installed. And Maven commands we want to execute. So Maven to be installed on this machine, then Maven command can be executed. But to have a tight integration with this Maven and GitHub, you need plugins. So next job is what? Plugins. So now we have an option called plugins. We can check update that plugins. We can check available plugins which are available with the Jenkins and install plugin which is already installed. So I want that plugin because I want special plugin that is called what? GitHub integration plugins. Is there? Yes. You have to make a note that yes, is there or not. I want Maven integration tool. Yes, I want this tool. I can say install and advanced settings interview question. They can say, can you have a customized plugins which is not available on the Jenkins database or repository? Yes, I can do for advanced settings. And what are the plugins I want to import it? I can import it here. So you can see that Update available plugins, install plugins, and advanced settings. It's done, 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 done. Put it back, right? I'll go forward. Manage Jenkins again. My job is done. So let's start with what? Giving a job to Jenkins. Hey Jenkins, you want to just do your job? So I need to create a job for Jenkins. So now I'm creating a job for Jenkins. Which job I'm going to go forward? Freestyle first. I go for no. Everything is working here. No, I'm getting it. So you connect again. Installation. Yeah, installing the. No, I'm sorry. I'm somewhere else. You're doing something. No, no, on plugins. This thing. You're doing same kind of a job. Okay. Yeah. Same time. Okay. So check out your internet is okay. Yeah. Have we selected what? GitHub integration, Maven integration. You have selected, right? Yeah. And restart again. If you're not, because installation needs what? Your database default or internet connection. Make sure a basic internet connection good bandwidth or signals could be good. So now I want to go for plugin now. I want to create a job. So you have to give a proper job. So I want to say what? CI job. With what? I want a GitHub integration. So I'll say CI job. With what? GitHub and Maven. I'll give this job name. You're saying you want Maven project? Are you doing pipeline? Are you doing something multi branches? Or are you going for freestyle? So I'll say freestyle job. And when I say okay, so it will give a kind of configuration page according to Maven and GitHub integration. What you have installed, you'll have some configuration. According to plugin, you'll have options. If you don't have plugins, you don't have the options to set up Maven or something. So it's like about your description. So I'll say what this is my GitHub with Maven project to build Java application. And I'd say what source code. I'll say I have a Git here. Which repository? I need to have a GitHub account here. Oh, I need to check out my GitHub account whether it's there or not. I'm just checking with my ID, or if I say forget, I'll get the email address. Verify, and I'll say this. So, yeah. Then I have to check my email address. Just a minute here. So I want to check my Gmail here. Just wait. I'm just looking for my code here. I want to set up my kind of like GitHub here. Fine. Finally able to log in. I hope you're able to see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
The magical. So I have some sample of Java application, which is something hello world. It's not a big application, but I want to just pull. I want to say this to my Jenkins. Please go ahead and pull this. Right. I want to say to this my Jenkins. So I'll say what? I'll copy this URL. Then I'll say that this is my repository I have given. Is there any credential? If you have a GitHub like here, GitHub with a public, definitely you'll have a credential. If you don't have a credential, you can create it. You can add to Jenkins. Global credentials, you want username or GitHub application, you have a secret file, whatever you want to go. So if you have this username password, you can say that your password here, username, F1 Java application repository. If I want to add it, you can add it and you can select it. But right now it is not required because my repository is a public. But I want to say that what are the credential you have to give. Now we have an option called what? It's saying branch. It's going to be master. If it is different, I have to change the repository. But I want to go for build steps. After source code, I'll have a build step and post build. We are not doing CD. When you go for deployment, you go for post build. But we are going for what? Building. So say execute shell, invoke and GitHub pending status, invoke Gradle, top invoke Maven because I want to build after that coding. When I say the course management, automatically it will pull the data from your GitHub and it will try to build from here. So I want to say what? Top invoke. The version is what? Already we have installed. I'm just referring the 39. I'll say clean install. These are commands of Maven. It's not your Linux command. It's not a Jenkins command. It's a command of what? Maven command. I'm just saying to this word. You can say that clean, package it, and install. You can say this way also. So when I say the clean pack install, these are the Maven commands. We'll learn more commands on this Maven, but I'm just giving three commands. It will clean the first, the last previous kind of building. Then it will go for package. So when I save this, that means I have given a job to my Jenkins. That what I have to do, I said go to that particular repository. I have given a location. I have given credential, and then after that I said build it by using Maven, and I have given clean install package. So now what happened? You can see here. I want to check it whether it's done or not. You want to say that job is done, ready, status, changes, workspace, and build. You have to understand the job properties, right? So now I want to say build now. When I say manually build now, it will start building. And downside, you will find a status pending, waiting for the next available executor. It will execute, it will go toward GitHub, then it will execute that particular Maven. If it is two commands, what we have configured in that particular plugins, if it is working, then you'll the status see what done. So we are waiting for the status. We have executed the build now manually, but manually is not recommended always. You have to go for automated. So how to automate? We'll see that. When you go for dashboard, you'll see that particular view. Which job? This job. And what happened? You can see that. Schedule a build job for a CSAD. If you want to schedule, you can see that. But when you see that particular again, and you sign what? Pending, waiting for the next available executor. It's not till now, there is no activity, there is no kind of success report here. Workspace is what? Whatever the Jenkins brings from GitHub, it will keep into what? Workspace, interview questions. Where the data pull data will be kept. What is configure? If you want to do again changes on the configuration of the plugins, you can go configuration. If you want to check this details, or if you want to go with this, you can go, or you can say what? Again, your job. Again, you say build steps. If you want to say build, no, not schedule. Cancel this job. I want to say build now. If you want to know about something that what is going on, what's the error, you can go for what configuration here. In dashboard, you'll find build queue, built-in mode, started by user, waiting for next available executor, waiting for 35 seconds. When I click on this, you'll find the status. Just wait. It should not take that much time because small application it should work 5 seconds or 10 seconds. That's enough. But taking more time, we need to check what is going on background. You got free stamps space or free space swap space 475 MB response time. So I want to know that what's the problem here. This OS is below threshold 1 GB, only 470 GB out of 471 something. That means it's saying the problem is because of what? Some kind of issues, right? Invalid resources. So saying only 471 out of 474 MB left on temp and 1 GB only. I'm just waiting for the execution here. 3 minutes. Even though there is no kind of action, that means it's not completed. Saying pending, 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 pending. It's having some issues with what? A kind of space. It's not able to catch up. It's not going to keep it something here into this machine. So df minus h is saying how much? 5 GB free space, right? In temp location, what is space? 472. You have to increase the temp location. That's why saying temp location is very low, right? That's why it's saying at least 1 GB should be there. So how to increase the temp location? The Linux command, how to increase slash temp size in Linux. Not enough space into the temp, how to increase the temp. Now let's see here. Df minus h temp. So you can get it exactly the idea about what. Let's I want to say temp. So it shows something here. So I want that it should be more. Now I'll say what? How do I increase? Manually to get more space without adding more RAM or something, temp space. So you have to say remount and then 5 GB. because we don't have 5 GB here. You should say what? I'll say 2 GB here. It should be super user. That means mounting command is not a normal user. You have to go for this. Now you have to check that particular again. Yes, not 2 GB. Let's here go to like here Jenkins. Check out what is going on. Still pending. So we'll see here. I'll cancel this job. Yes, I don't want to keep in a queue. I don't want a long queue here. I want to build now. Let's see the build history. Pending, waiting for the next available executor. But when I see that execution and when I see that particular errors, I got idea that we have some problem into where we got error, right? So 471 free time space. But we have done just now. You can refresh. You got a 2 GB right now. Screen is visible, I think. It's got failed or something here. You can see that it's kind of failed. So now I want to execute one more time. And if I say it's a fail, I want to check what is that? What's the problem for this fail? When I click on the fail and you have a console output is for troubleshooting. Interview question they'll ask definitely, how do you troubleshoot the fail kind of job? Console output details give details information. What's the problem here? So now it will say all the information here, whether it's a Git problem or a Maven problem. Downloaded something, the file like encoding has not been set, okay. Module because it's working on jar. You can see that. Is the problem of your it's not a problem of your Git. Git is completed. Only that error, that means compilation error. Building errors, we got an error. It's saying what source option 6 is not longer support. Use 8 or later. It's saying that your Java version is not supported in your source code. Understand this bad build failure. We can read execute goal. Goal means what? Install, clean, what you have given. That basically saying that it can support with this particular compiler. Our Java should be 8 more than that. So this is going to be basically from where? From your so now if I go with my repository here, hello world with Java or AWS apps demo here, Django and rent a car. I want a simple Java project. So I'll check out simple box. I'll check out this project. Mm, yeah, it's very important in interview question. Please make a note. Pom.xml should be there in your source code. Pom.xml should be there. Pom.xml use a Maven use it pom.xml with the instruction of pom.xml. Maven will execute. So if you don't have pom.xml, you'll get problems. So now I want to go for this. I want to change this repository. I'll change this repository. How to change? Go to dashboard, go to configure, and change the repository. And again try because I found the problem is what earlier with my source code, not what my kind of other things. I did this, save it, Once it's saved, then you can say build. Once you start build, it's saying that no pending. It's saying what? Building. Estimated remaining time is what? 8 to 2 seconds, 30 seconds or something. It's saying 13 seconds. So 8 to 10 seconds, small application, it will build go fast. And you got error or not? Again, you got error. If you want to click on this and you say what console output and you find Git is done, then only the problem is here. It's saying you can say building hello. From here, it's saying about building. This is your sample hello. It's trying to build. Let's here check the errors here. Go up bottom here, you'll find error. Compiler error, the later. It's all is asking again. It's gonna what? It needs an more than 8. It support compilation. Okay, I'll go for my Jenkins. How to troubleshoot it? You have to go the pom.xml. Oh, Maven versions, right? Model versions is giving 1.6 or something here. You can see that it should be what? 8. You have to go for edit mode and you have to change. I have changed the version here. It's going to be what? 8. Now let's see here. I build it again. Same file. So it's saying what? The third build starts and saying approximately takes time and it's doing. But again, you'll find that troubleshooting definitely in interview question they'll say, how do you solve it? And what's the problem? Basically, how do you say that? What's the problem here? Go to console output and it's a problem of Git or Maven or what. If you go back at a bottom, you'll find the errors. It's saying now this, to see full stack or something errors, you find this. That means the pom.xml got problem. Okay, now how do you solve it? It's a problem of it's not plugins. It's not problem of Jenkins. It's a problem of source code pom.xml. Make a point. Pom.xml is saying that this pom.xml is not configured well and it's not having a Maven version. So what I'll do is I'll go for dashboard. I'll go for this. I'll go for configure. I'll go for build steps and say this. And now I'm executing this number 4 time. I got first time problem, second time problem, third time. Again, I'm doing same thing, but file I have not changed. Remember this point. The source code I have not changed. Then again, I'm doing problem. So now I have to seriously go for what? My source code. I search for simple Java project, right? So I want to go for this Buddy Works simple because I need this Java should be there. Quick demo for Maven Java project. Okay, I'll check out the version here. Pom.xml is very important. Make sure that pom.xml should be there. Yeah, here we got 8 version. So we'll check it here with this version. A fourth time build error, we'll go for configure again. We go for git repository change because I want to go for source code because I found that problem is not my Jenkins, my configuration, it's just basically source code. Now I want to build it. Fifth build. You can see the fifth build here going on. I change only only the source code. I have not changed any configuration. My plugins, everything is intact. There is no problem. Only the problem is saying that yes, now I got a success or not. So it's very important to troubleshoot it. So in interview question, they'll say, what is console output? How do you troubleshoot? So in this logs, you'll find all this information. What's the problem? It's a problem of Git or Maven or something. It says successfully done. So next question of interviewer, how can you check whether it's that particular application is fetch or not? So workspace, it will keep in a workspace, right? And there's a target folder. You see that target folder. You see that interviewer question can be after getting the source code, where the source code will store. You say workspace, and after build, where is going to store? You say under the workspace you'll find target folder. Under the target folder, you'll find what? The build information. That means you can see that is a jar, var or jar. If depend on what, the jar and var is depend on your pom.xml, the developer, what exactly they want. So they will instruct into the Maven pom.xml file. On the base of pom.xml, it will work because you can see here, your pom.xml here may be having what? Only jar. It's not var, the package. You can change the name of your artifact. You can change the name of artifact. I want to change the name of what? Artifact. And I'll see here what exactly is going jar. The packaging is what? Jar. Basically, it need to be var. So it is basically coded on the base of what the developer need to do this. I need to have idea about Java or Python or something how to make it. But if you are not having idea, please forward to that what a team and asking for a pom.xml to be corrected. And now again, if I build, I change something there. So let's see what happens. Sixth, I change the package name var, and I've given that particular demo title a different name, Cloud Infotech. Oh, six failed because of what? I change. Now let's see here. Console output. It says everything okay, but what's the problem? It's here failure, failed to execute goal. Goal is basically referred to Maven attributes, and it's not saying 8.0 or something. So it's basically on a basically what? Error assembling var. You see that? Because this file is not designed for the var, but I change manually. But it's completely depend on the scripting. So right now, what I'll do is I want to make a var. It's a jar application, so I'll make it jar, and I'll say one more time build. Let's see. Fifth executed, sixth failed, seventh again. So you understand that how the error is generating, how to track the errors, how to read errors, and how to find what's the problem. So the pom.xml is very important. As per that particular jar or var packaging will be designed by your developer. On the base of that, you have to follow. You have to follow and you have to coordinate your developer that hey, I need this kind of package. So you did something here, and you got to understand workspace. You understand about Bell now. You understand the configuration. You understand about the console. What do you mean by console? Why do you require the console here, right? That's going to be very important here. So now, if you want to create a job in Jenkins by using plugin methods, first you have to install what? Plugins. Then GitHub, Maven, and S3 Publisher, Kubernetes, SonarCube. Then install the plugins, Tomcat, or then Terraform or something. Then after that, you have to go for create a job. Freestyle. I want to go for build, manual, schedule, or trigger. You have three options. Manual means I have to click, click, click. I don't want to go for click because it's a continuous job. So what I'll do, I'll make a schedule, and I want to trigger. Schedule means specific date or time. So my company manager says that before you leave 5:30, it should be executed. That means it should be built only up to like here end of the day. That means it's going to be 6 p.m. or it's going to be only set Friday a night, or it should be built on specific time. So because depending on the business strategy, they'll use what schedule. It's not always. It should be what specific time. But some business schedule it says what trigger. Whenever the data reaches to that particular push to that repository, the build should start. That is called triggering. But whether they have kept something on the data on the repository, no worries. It will work only on schedule time. That means in interview they can ask you the build can be done in what mix. You can say trigger, schedule, or manual. There are three methods. So that means if you play with configure, if you play with your kind of build, if you play with your workspace, if you play with your kind of console output, that's a common places where you go after doing that. So we did everything here. Now we have installed GitHub and we have installed tools, Maven installation. Then steps is what? How do you say? So now next task is what? I want to make a schedule of this task. One. Second, I want to make a trigger of with what? Specific visit. That means if a user or developer puts the code to the repository, immediately Jenkins should pull the code and execute with the manual command. Done? Any questions online, offline? What happens, Sravani?
No, sir.
And Shoaib, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No question, sir.
Sir, one down.
Mm-hmm.
You said we need to install Maven and Git, right? In Git, we have installed in the Linux machine, and whereas Maven in Jenkins
You
portal we
can
have
you
done.
can install. You can install with Git and Maven both from the console itself. Your
Okay.
question, right? Can
Yes,
I
sir.
install from the console itself? Yes,
Yes.
but I have given what idea that the backend also whatever you're doing from the console, it is installing where in the Jenkins machine.
Uh,
Is it clear?
okay, sir.
And why I have said because Jenkins is going to execute some command, so it need Git. Without Git, it cannot execute the command. It cannot pull the data. Git pull from the repository. Done.
Yeah. Means we can by any method we can install
Yes,
either
yes,
from
yes,
console or else from Jenkins
yes.
itself. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Anyone's there?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
No doubt.
No doubt. Okay, but I need this screenshot that what exactly CI process because we have done continuous integration, but it's not executing self. That means your Jenkins will not execute self because we have not set. By default, it works on manual. I need to click on the build. If I have 10 projects or 20 projects, oh, I have to look out where I have to unclick. And every time someone has to inform me, please build it. So it's going to be time based. But depending on the business strategy, I'm saying sometime I need to go for manual because it's not trigger, it's not schedule. The developer team and testing team and the project manager decided that Whenever something is completed, once we have done, we'll inform you. Then we'll, that means developer or testing team, they said that our developer team says that it's not sure that it's going to be 1 hour, 2 hours, or 1 day or 2 day. So sometimes go up and down. So the best option is what? Manual, because we don't know. And even trigger. Sometimes they want to just push code, and they want to say that they have a dedication that they want to push up to that specific module of the application, module one, module two. Then we have to build. Then you can go for manual. But sometimes they'll say what, whenever we push the code, whenever we finish the particular specific source code, whenever we push something in like GitHub, we want that it should be built quickly. So that's the request to your DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer should make what trigger in this case. Trigger means we have to make a handshake with what, GitHub. GitHub having some kind of loads. You can have a loads, and you can define a load to that GitHub. Hey GitHub, please talk to Jenkins if something action done onto the GitHub repository. So GitHub will intimate. Jenkins is not always looking for what, whether someone is done or not. Jenkins is not concentrating. Jenkins wait, and GitHub will intimate to the Jenkins, hey please have some code, take it. So how to do that? We have to go for it. It's a GitHub kind of level configuration. So now we are into this repository. Repository settings is there. Repository settings. In the repository settings, we can check out actions, rules, webhooks. There's an option called what? Webhooks. So you have to create a webhooks with the Jenkins. Webhook allow external services to be notified. That you got understanding. Now, what is webhook? Allow external service to be notified when certain events happen into this repository. Someone uploaded, someone deleted, someone modified. When the specified event happen, we will send a post request to each URLs what you have done. Add a webhook. It says that payload URLs. Where do you want to go? So we'll keep what, the URL of GitHub. URL of, sorry, your Jenkins. So now here you can see that if you want to go with this automation, so what you'll do is by using webhook payload, right? So what do you go in the payload? You're going to go for the URL 80. That means port number up to port number. Then you have what, GitHub webhook. If you give this, so it's going to go forward. Now it will go create a webhook URL. Now what I'll do is copy, paste it, and say what. So now when I have given this, so now the workload payloads is created here. I want to say it's a kind of Java application, JSON. I don't want to keep secret. Okay. By default, we verify SSL certificate when delivering payloads. So I want to say if there is no SSL certificate, you can go with that. Or else if you have a Jenkins having a certification, you can go HTTPS. Which event? I want just push event. But if you want to say every event modified, deleted, I want Jenkins should build every time whether any events happen. But I want to say what, push event, active. If I say this, now the GitHub is having idea that yes, where to notify. So now, if I go to my Maven directory, a Maven, like this is my repository which is configured integrated with what, with my Jenkins. So what I'll do is I'll add some file. I'll upload some file or add some file. I'll say this is my Java Module 2. I'll give file name test one. I'll say commit changes. That means if something here, automatically the execution of what Jenkins should execute, but it's not executing. Jenkins is sleeping now. That means I need to say that please, hey, wake up, have a handshake, listen to that particular GitHub. So if you want to go for listening, so you have to understand the triggers. Trigger immediately, build remotely, build after. That means these are builds triggers are there. So now I want to say word periodically or webhook hooks, or you have a Policium. In a Policium, you can schedule it when to go with that. But when I select this, so automatically it will start listening. Automatically it will say what? Listening to where?
Jenkins.
To GitHub. And it will, whenever GitHub a repository having some new data, it will start. Now I'll do what? Because I said push, I'll add file, I'll upload any file, small file, Jenkins PAM. I'm just saying what? Same branch, right? Crossing your file. Any file is uploaded to that particular things, automatically I want that Jenkins should be executed here. So let's see, Jenkins is executing that job or not. There is no job till now. We have done only the job. What? Up to what? 8 job. Okay, 8 job done or what? 10 second, took 10 second, right? So we have done up to where? Last build is what? 10 second ago. Let's see here. The last job. I want to check because I have done something here. The job is done. I want to go for workspace. I want to check test one. And is there anything uploaded some file, right? That means it's not executed till now. We got some time. Okay, it's done. 10 seconds ago, it's done already. How it's done? Have I done any kind of manually? No.
Good.
Who did this? Why?
Trigger.
Because I said webhook I created. Webhook notifies to the external services to a payload. What I created a payload with a URL and it's communicated to payroll and Jenkins automatically builds this. And seconds, that's why it's not showing that particular status. Now if I load again, if I go for again these things, one more file I'll load. Okay. Okay, I'll say what? Just 3. This is my test for triggering Jenkins. When I upload something here, immediately I'll find what we go 1 second ago or something. It will say ninth is building, automatically building. Who built this?
GitHub.
Have I did something here now manually? Nothing. So who did this? Jenkins. Why? Because I said. Why I said? I said that my project manager required that whenever something new push, please build it. So I don't know. I'm not relaxed. Now I'm relaxed. If the project goes to 6 months also, I don't want to do anything. I want to have a coffee. I want to have a tea. I want to go for WhatsApp. I'll go for new search, chat GPT or something. But I'll not bother about that. Do you think it's a automation or not? That
Yes.
means integrating multiple services, understand the logic and concept. You can do a lot of integration. We'll have CD also. But we have understood what only CI process. In that, We have learned what is workspace, what is build now, what is a permalinks, if like all the links what you have created, and what is your console output, what is configure, and we got idea that, and what is plugin, how to install it, and what are tools. You got a lot of information about Jenkins now. That means you can play at least 7 to 8 options of Jenkins. Is it clear now? Any questions?
No, sir, clear.
So you're going to show me today, and I'm going to give a lot of assignments, research work. Be ready. If you understand this process, I can give more.
Can you share the GitHub code?
Sorry, GitHub, Git,
GitHub source code.
source code. Okay, I'll show you. What I'll do is, it's open. Just go ahead with what? Per cloud infotech slash mammon devo in a Google. You'll get it because it's public. Anyone can access. And if I say that code, if you want, I can give what the source code link directly. That means remember this point, real time you don't go for public, you'll go for what? Private repository. Yes, use it and understand the errors, because you got error, that means learning. If you don't get error, you'll not learn. We got sixth time or fifth time errors, and we found different configuration, and we found that definitely it's not a problem of my Maven plugins, it's not GitHub plugins. It means it's not related to a Jenkins error. It's related to what? Source code. So in source code, what is the file? pom.xml. The pom.xml responsible, which is designed and developed by what? Developers. So if it is not compatible with the 8.1 version, so definitely your Jenkins cannot compile or something with this. That's why we got build error. Git repository, we seen that it's done, but only the build errors. And interview question, they'll ask what? Where the source code will kept, where the artifact will be kept. Where the artifact will kept? Under target. Remember this point, under target. I'm just closing. Have you copied, Savani?
Sir, copied.
Shoaib,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Maria?
Done.
Yes, sir. Copy.
Because this Jenkins is going to be very interesting when you do more and more. But if you do not have a knowledge about Docker, Git, Ansible, you'll get confused because I'm going here and there. You say what is Git and what is Maven or something. So we'll see that. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you. I'm closing here. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
See you with
Thank
your
you, sir.
screenshot.
Thank you, sir.
एक कॉलम क्या है वो